So your wedding films suck, eh? Huh? Meh. Meh. No. So here are 5 reasons why, whoops, try that again. So your wedding films suck. BFD. Mine did too. Here's proof. Actually, I'm not going to show you that. Nope. Okay. You know, there may be some truth to the idea that your wedding film isn't quite landing, right? It's not hitting on all those emotional fronts. And more directly, your wedding film just sucks. And you know what? It's okay, because guess what? We all start somewhere. When I started back in 2013, this is what my wedding films look like. Okay, I'm gonna go cry now. And this just cements the notion that we all start somewhere. So for today's video, I wanna offer 5 ways that you can make your wedding films so much better for 2024. One trap that I think a lot of us can get caught up in, especially me, I know I fell victim to this, especially in the beginning, is trying to find a cheat code when it comes to finding the right music. We want to create beautiful cinematic films in the shortest amount of time possible. You find one song on MusicBed because you're tired of searching and it fits your contractually obligated timeline, so you just call it a day with just one song. But in my opinion, this approach is hurting your film's potential to be really great. When it comes to music for your wedding films, you really need variety, because this is going to create interest and make your film feel a lot more dynamic. So how do you do that? Well, the first is to use more than one song. The next is to use a high quality and reliable music licensing platform. I like to use MusicBed as they have been a reliable source for me over the years, and if you are interested in checking them out, you can find a 14-day free trial down in the description below. The next is to choose songs in the same key. This is great because it helps you transition from song to song a lot more fluidly and makes your songs feel very natural and intentional. The main goal with your music is to elevate the emotional impact and progress your story. Number 2 is your sequences just don't make sense. Building an effective scene is fundamental in storytelling and in holding someone's attention. Every frame you capture should have at least 2 to 3 complementary shots to build off of. A good rule of thumb is to think wide, medium, and close for every scene you capture on the wedding day. Now, not all moments will allow you to capture this level of variety, but the more range that you can capture, the better your story can be. Think about your favorite movie for a second. What really makes it your favorite movie? Is it the story, the music, the cinematography? The best scenes are ones where we forget to notice the camera even cuts, because it feels so natural and intentional. And when it comes to wedding filmmaking, our scenes should convey the same feeling. Each frame should be leading towards something and have a reason for existing in your film. Number 3 is over-dramatization. Now this one is certainly subjective, but I am not a huge fan of wedding films that over-dramatize the wedding day. Now this isn't to say that I haven't been guilty of doing this for my own wedding films, especially in my early days of experimenting and finding my style. But as I've grown as an artist, I've realized that wedding films really shouldn't be over-dramatized, because when we look at the overall goal of the wedding film, it isn't to depict an unrealistic version of who they are. It's to capture the authenticity of the moment between these two people in this moment in time. This may be a hot take, but the wedding film industry is not the film industry. But it's also so beautifully diverse that I understand how some crossover does occur. But when it comes to this over-dramatization, that is a weird word to say. But when it comes to this drama, some of the examples include every shot is slow motion. The music feels out of place. It's like you're watching the opening to a Michael Bay movie. There's really no narrative. There's no story. There's no conflict. There's no emotional connection to this story. The wedding film is focused on the details over people. There's way too many transitions, cross dissolves, fades to black, and the entire film just really feels off. Now, this is just one filmmaker's opinion, because everyone has a unique style and creates films that they enjoy making. And there are couples that want this type of overdramatic cinematic wedding film experience. In my opinion, I think there are ways to create them that feels very natural and authentic. Most of us are creating these cinematic wedding films that feel like a movie. And the ones that really succeed and thrive in creating these types of films are the ones that have the perfect balance of authenticity and drama. Being a dad and an entrepreneur, you realize pretty quickly that you do not have enough time in the day to get everything done that you need to. And this can cause a lot of unwanted stress and anxiety. Fear that you're missing the mark in your business, fear that you're not spending enough time with the people that matter most. And for me, that is something that I just didn't want to settle for. So I knew I needed a solution to help me satisfy all of the to-dos, all of the check boxes that I needed to get done in a day. But that is why it's so important to find the right team. And for me, the right team has been Uncut Gems. They are a high-quality video editing service that has helped me elevate my films, give me time back in my business, give me time back in my life, and help me kick backlog in the face, which has been such an amazing thing. And they are kind enough to offer you guys 65% off on your first edit. So head over to uncutgems.com, use my code Wayward65 at checkout so that you can kick backlog in the face, get time back in your business and your life, and be more excited to create than ever before. Number 4 is your films lack personality and they lack story. Personally, I love starting my wedding films off with a beautiful moment from the day, whether that's an emotional moment, something funny, something that highlights the personality of the couple, just a really powerful and authentic moment to really kickstart your story in a beautiful way. An interesting wedding film to me isn't one that showers the first 30 seconds with detail shots, where we don't even get to see the couple or the people, the main reason for wanting to watch this film in the first place, until about 30 seconds to even a minute into it. The interesting films to me are ones that can really capture the personality and heartbeat behind who the couple is in a beautiful and a powerful way. And I feel like more and more couples are wanting this type of experience. They want more of a story about who they are versus just highlighting the day with beautiful slow motion shots. Now, again, you'll still have couples that want that type of thing, but I think it's just about finding that balance. But couples really want to remember the moments that led them to this day. They want to showcase this film to their kids one day, to create a legacy that teaches them who they are and forms their identity. So instead of starting with the details, start your film off with personality. Choose a really emotive moment from the day and use that to kickstart your film. You want to show the audience why they should invest their time within the first 10 seconds. And I say audience because other couples, future couples, are going to be watching your work to determine whether or not you're their guy or their girl. So you want to make sure that you're really selling the deal right from the start. You don't want to seek to impress, you want to seek to engage through intentional and thoughtful ways of how you capture these life moments that make us who we are, and give couples a reason to want to invest in a wedding film. And number 5 is substance. There's a lot of beautiful wedding films out there. The cinematic eye candy shots that leave most of us as filmmakers drooling over. But something that I've noticed even with my own work over the years is that some wedding films really lack substance. Now, the unfortunate truth is some wedding films fall under a very cliche umbrella or feel very cookie cutter. And it's usually because we're only looking at wedding films through a very blurred lens. We're taking this one single day and we're trying to create this magical narrative, and we're missing so many crucial elements that led up to this moment. You know, the wedding film itself should be a journey because the wedding itself is a journey. There were small moments that led up to this bigger moment, and we need to be able to understand what those moments were, what led to this day. Because these people didn't just show up randomly at this venue at this specific time and decide to get married. Now, when you get to a certain level, you can make any wedding look great. You can make any wedding look really beautiful. But to really tell a compelling story, you really need all the pieces. Because most of us don't get these golden weddings where everything just sort of fell into place. The bride and groom are so well-spoken, they're just very vulnerable, willing to wear their heart on their sleeve and pour everything out to this complete stranger. Or the speeches are just very articulate, very thoughtful, and very intentionally designed to tell the story of the couple. You had perfect lighting, you had perfect weather, you had a perfect team. Everything was just firing on all cylinders. So many factors go into making a wedding film feel like more than a wedding film. And many of us, myself included, are flipping a coin at every single wedding, hoping for that golden ticket to catapult us into the top 1% and into the Wedding Day Hall of Fame. But what if we, as storytellers, as small town filmmakers, what if we could really just do more? Instead of just being a wedding videographer, we became journalists. And we sought out a deeper, more intimate and personal story that didn't involve you stressing out on the wedding day about not capturing all the details in 3 minutes, but focus more on the journey over the destination. I think that's where you find substance. That's where you find your story and your meaning. And I think if we want our wedding films to be better, we have to start looking beyond the wedding day, especially if we want to create films that leave a lasting impact and set us apart from other filmmakers. But that's been my top 5 things on why I think most wedding films suck. I hope you found this video helpful and valuable in some way. If you did, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing. Drop a comment below. Let me know if any of these tips resonated with you. If you have any more sage advice for other filmmakers out there, I'd love to hear from you guys. So until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.